Hi children, welcome to ninth class. I am Dr. Ravi Chitakari, PGT in Botany, TS Model School. So now in this academic year, I am a class teacher of ninth A section. Class teacher of ninth A section. Okay, so we are going to learn about the biology. So in your ninth class biology syllabus, so there are 11 chapters are there. Okay, so already you studied cell, its structure in your previous class. Okay, so in this class also your biology syllabus starts with the cell, its structure and function. Okay, so in this lesson, so we studied about, so what is cell, so what is the sizes of the cell, what is the shape of the cell, okay, what are the organelles present in the cells and their functions. Okay, so we will discuss in this chapter detail. Okay, so now coming to the second chapter, plant tissues. Okay, so there are different type of plant tissues are there, that is simple tissues and complex tissues and etc we studied in the plant tissues. So as usually the animals are also contain tissues that we will study in animal tissues chapter. Okay, so there are different type of animal tissues are there, so like bone tissue, muscle tissue, blood tissue, nervous tissue and etc. Okay, now coming to the fourth chapter, that is plasma membrane. Okay, already you studied the plasma membrane in your previous class. So it acts as a semi-permeable membrane, so especially present in the plant and animal cell. Okay, so it has a specific function, so that we will discuss in this chapter with the help of different experiments. Okay, now the fifth chapter is a diversity in living organism. Okay, so we see various kinds of animals and plants in our surroundings. Okay, so that nothing but it is called as a diversity. Okay, all the animals and all the plants are not similar in structure and similar in shape and etc. Okay, every plant that have a unique characters, every animal are also having a unique characters. Okay, that characters, and based on those characters, so we can classify those organisms into the various kingdoms, so that are we will discuss in the diversity in living organism chapters. Okay, so in the sixth chapter, sense organ. Okay, there are the five sense organs are there in the human body, so that is eyes, nose and ears, tongue and skin. Okay, so these five sense organs detailedly we learn about in this chapter. Okay, then seventh chapter is an animal behavior, so how the animals are behave, so that we will discuss in this chapter. And eighth one is an challenges in improving agriculture products. Okay, so there are the different patterns are there to improve the agriculture products. Okay, so that we will discuss in the challenges in improving agriculture products. And ninth one is an adaptations in different ecosystem. Okay, so based on the different factors, so the ecosystems are also differentiated into the different types. So like if the water is present, it is called as an aquatic ecosystem. So if the grass is present, so it is called grassland ecosystem. So if there are many number of the trees are present, nothing but it is called as a forest ecosystem. Okay, so based on that different physical conditions, so the different organisms are also adapted to the different ecosystem. So for example, the xerophytic plants are there. So xerophytic plants are reduced the leaf. So they are reduced the leaf. Why they are reduced the leaf? So they are adapted that particular heavy temperature, so in the environment. So that we will, that kind of issues we will discuss in the adaptations in different ecosystem. And 10th one is a soil pollution. So how the soil is polluted and what are the conservation of soil. So how do we protect the soil. Okay, that we will discuss in the soil pollution. And 11th one is a biogeos chemical cycle. So there are the different kind of minerals are present in the nature, so how the minerals are involved in the cycle. Okay, for example, nitrogen is present, so nitrogen cycle is there. Nitrogen is abundantly found in the environment, so how it is fixed in the soil, how it is utilized by the plants, how it is entered into the human and animals body, and then how it is entered into the soil again and environment again. That we will discuss in the biogeochemical cycle. Okay, so cell structures and functions, plant tissues, animal tissues, plasma membranes, diversity in living organism, sense organ, animal behavior, challenges in improving agriculture products, adaptations in different ecosystems, soil pollution, and biogeochemical cycles. So these are the 11 chapters are present in our biology syllabus. Okay, so today onwards, so we will start our e-classes or video lessons. Okay, for that purpose, so every student have to purchase one long rough notebook. Okay, so one side you have to write the running note. Okay, what I teach in the video lesson, so the each and every point you should be note in your notebook. In the another side of the notebook, so you have to write the question and answers, and also you have to write the answers for the worksheets. Okay, what I post in the group. Okay, so now we are going to explain about the cell structure and function. Okay, so in the previous class already you studied about the cell structure especially. Okay, so for that in the chapter, so you have to conducted so you already conducted some experiments, okay, like onion peel experiment and etc etc. Okay, so regarding to the history of cell structure, so in the year of 1965, okay, the scientist Robert Hooke, so he observed the slices of cork tree. Okay, so the cork of which come from the bark of the oak tree. Okay, the tree is an oak tree, so scientifically which is called as Quercus subra. Scientifically which is called as Quercus subra. So actually he isolated the bark and cork. Okay, so and he cutted the slices with the help of surgical blade, and finally so he observed those cork under simple magnifying glass. So when he observed simple magnifying glass, so under the simple magnifying glass, so the cork from the bark, okay, so he noticed that a small chamber like compartments, a small, just you see that it is in a cork of oak tree under the microscope, just you see. So there are many number of the chambers are there. Okay, so these are the chambers, so which are look like in a honey hive or honeycomb. So when you see that honey hive or honeycomb, okay, so there are many compartments are there. So in the each compartment the honey bee is present. Okay, so here the boxes were separated from each other by a wall. So just you see that each box is separated by the boundary of a wall. Okay, so he named that. So he named that each box is called as a cell. Okay, so actually the cell, it is a word that derived from cellula, so which is a Latin word. The cellula means a little room. Okay, so the cells which Hooke observed were actually dead cells of the plant cell. So because of the bark of the tree, that is a plant dead cell. So after that, the Sweden and Schwann so were conducted many experiments on observing of the plant cells and animal cells, and finally they stated that cell theory. Okay, according to the theory, the every living organism is made up of the cell, and the cells are structural and functional unit of organism. Okay, so these two statements that denotes the cell theory. Now coming to the cell. So already I told you the cells are the basic structural and functional unit of all living organisms. So because of, so without cell, so there is no structure of any organism. Okay, without cell, so the cells are not involved in any life processes. Okay, so that's why the cells are called as basic structural and as well as functional units of all living organisms. Okay, so here already you studied about so some organisms are made up with the single cell, or some are made up with the many cells. Okay, based in the cell number, so the organisms are mainly divided into the two types. That is unicellular organisms and multicellular organisms. Okay, so if you see here, okay, so if a entire organism body is made up with the only single cell, that is called as unicellular organisms. Okay, just you see the pic here, so it is an amoeba. It is an amoeba because of amoeba made up with the only one cell. So as well as, so it is an paramecium, which is also called as slipper mole because of it look like as a slipper. Okay, that's why it is called slipper mole. So it is also made up of the only single cell. So that's why these organisms are called as unicellular organisms. Okay, the examples for the unicellular organisms, amoeba and paramecium. Okay, so now coming to that one. So if the organism body is made up with the many number of the cells, so that are called multicellular organisms. Multicellular organism. So if you see that tree, so actually the tree has a different part. So that stem structure is different, leaf structure is different, and flowers structure is different, texture and whatever the size and everything is different from one part to the another part. So because of, so the plant and elephant, so which is made up with the many number of the cell, so if the organism is made up with the many number of the cell, so that is called as multicellular organism. So in the multicellular organism, the number of the cells are billions and trillions in number. But in the unicellular organism, only one cell is present. So here is a very important point. The entire cell of the unicellular organism that involves in the all life process. So whenever it comes to the multicellular organism, so in the multicellular organism, different life processes are done by the different kinds of tissues that are made up of the different type of cell. Okay, so here the work division takes place in the multicellular organism due to the formation of different organs, so which are formed with the help of different kind of cells. Okay, so this is a cell structure and living organisms. Now coming to the shape of cells. Okay, so already I told you the cells are different in shape. Okay, so here some cells are keep changing their shape. Okay, so they are called, so the examples of that organisms are here amoeba and white blood cells in the human being. Okay, so actually amoeba that does not show any particular shape. Okay, so actually the amoeba, which is mainly having a protoplasm or cytoplasm that is enclosed in the cell membrane. Okay, due to the lack of cell wall, so the amoeba does not show or didn't show any kind of shape. Okay, so here the white blood cells are also not having any particular shape. Okay, coming to the other cells that present in the plants and animals. Okay, the cells are spherical in shape, round in shape, and elongated, spindle shaped, or branched, and etc. So if you see here the RBC, so which are round. So when you see the phloem and xylem cells, so which are elongated cells, Okay, so next to the nerve cell, so it is in a branched. Okay, spindle shaped and branched. Okay, so these are the different kinds of shape of cells. So that's why the organism made up of the different number of the cell. Okay, different number of the cells that have a different kind of shapes. So for example, human body is there. So in the human body that contain the million number of the cells, but the human body contain the million number of cells, but all cells are not having a single shape. So they shows the different kind of shape. Okay, the shape which present in the bone that have a specific shape, the cell which present in the muscle that have a specific shape, the cells which are present in blood that are also having a specific shape. Okay, so the shape is different from one cell to another cell in a particular organisms. Okay, so now coming to the sizes of the cell. Okay, so the living organisms, so the sizes are also different. Okay, so they may be small. Okay, in the, so that is in a millionth of a meter, nothing but it is called as a micrometer or micron. Some are large, so in a few centimeters. So in the smallest cell, So that is in a bacteria, it is in a 0.1 to the 0.5 micrometer in size. Okay, whatever the bacteria size, that is in a 0.1 to the 0.5 micrometer in size. Okay, so coming to the largest cell, that is in a Astis X cell. As you see the peak, so the length of that cell is in a 17 centimeters to the 13 centimeters. So that size is nothing but it is a long scale size. So I think your long scale size is in a 15 centimeters. So Astis egg is that much of size. So it is in the longest single cell, that is Astis egg cell. So now see the various kinds of bacteria here. So these are very minute in structure. So there are in especially micrometer, that is in a 0.1 micrometers to the 0.5 micrometer. So that's why the size is also vary from the one organism to the another organism. So from the one tissue to the another tissue. Okay. So now going to the next, a typical cell. So actually based on the organisms, okay, the cells are mainly categorized to the two types. One is an plant cell and second one is an animal cell. Okay, so actually the typical plant cell, so that having a different kinds of parts, So for example, so the chloroplast are present. Okay, the all plant cells are present in the chloroplast? No, only the green part of the plants that shows the chloroplast. So remaining part that present in the plant, so is not showing the chloroplast. Okay, so here this you observe the figure here, that is in a plant cell figure. Okay, so just you see that, so actually the plant cell is surrounded with a wall. Okay, so which is called as cell wall. Okay, so just you see this pic, so the plant cell is surrounded with a wall, so which is called as cell wall. Okay, beneath the cell wall the fluid like gel is present, so which is called as cytoplasm, or also called as cytosol. Cytoplasm are also called as cytosol. Okay, so these cytosol is mainly surrounded with a thin layer that is called as cell membrane. Okay, so the outermost layer of the plant cell is in a cell wall. Beneath the cell wall, what is present? Cell membrane. So that cell membrane encloses the fluid like gel that present in the cell, so which is called as cytoplasm or cytosol. Okay, so along with that cytosol, so in these cytosols there are many number of the cell organelles are present. So nearby 60 to 70% of the cytosol is mainly occupied with the large vacuole. Okay, large vacuole. So it is an important and characteristic feature of the plant cell. So the plant cell vacuole is very large and it occupies the major portion of the cytosol or cytoplasm. Okay, so along with the food vacuole, so actually the food vacuole, that means, so it is surrounded within a layer. So that layer is nothing but it is called as a tonoplast. The layer is called as a tonoplast. Okay, so along with the vacuole there are different kinds of cell organelles are present, and those are called here mitochondria and chloroplast, peroxisome and endoplasmic reticulum and nucleus. Okay, so the nucleus also have very different parts that we will discuss in the nucleus topic, and dictyosomes, so which are also called as Golgi bodies, and plasmodesma, so which is helpful for the connection with the another cells, and chloroplast that contain the starch grains and thylakoids, and it is in a plasma membrane and cell wall and vacuole covered with a tonoplast and ribosomes. Okay, so these are the various organelles that present in the plant cell. Okay, so especially in the plant cell, so that shows the cell wall and also shows the chloroplast, and vacuole is big in size. So remember these three points: the plant cell covered within a cell wall, and the plant cell have chloroplast, and then the third one is the vacuole is occupied the major portion of the cytosol. Okay, now coming to the typical animal cell. Okay, so here animal cell, the cell wall is absent. The cell wall is absent. So that's why the outermost layer of the animal cell is in a cell membrane. Cell membrane. So beneath the cell membrane, what it is enclosed with? It is enclosed within a fluid like gel. So it is called as cytoplasm. Okay, cytoplasm. So the cytoplasm that contain a small sized vacuole here. Okay, so here it is in a different in between the animal cell and plant cell vacuole. Plant cell vacuole occupies the major portion of the cytosol, but here the animal cell that contain the many number of the vacuole that are very smaller in size. Very smaller in size. So along with this vacuole, so here there is no chloroplast. There is no chloroplast. Cell wall is absent and chloroplast is also absent. Okay, and vacuoles are very small in size. Okay, along with that vacuole, the animal cell is also contain lysosomes, Golgi bodies, endoplasmic reticulum, cell membrane, ribosomes, and microtubules and nucleus, so Golgi apparatus, mitochondria, and etc. So compared to the plant cell, so these animal cell have one more important organelle, that is a centriole. That is centriole. So in the plant cell, what is present? Chloroplast is present. Okay, in the animal cell, what is extra present? That is centriole. So the centrioles are absent in the plant cell, present in the animal cell. So the chloroplast is absent in the animal cell and present in the plant cell. So cell wall is present in the plant cell and absent in the animal cell. Okay, the cell membranes are present in the both the cells, and vacuole is smaller in animal cell and larger in plant cell. Okay, so this is a introduction class regarding to the cell structure and function. So in the next class, so we will go to cell membrane and plasma membrane topic. Thank you.